So tonight we are looking at the brand new Hyundai Elantra N. Yes, you can own a touring car for the road. It's coming home. No, not that one. Silverstone, the Grand Prix, is coming back home to the British Isles. See how well that one goes down. That one goes down. Big news from the world of Formula One, and the brand new 2022 F1 car has also been revealed today, and we have got not exclusive footage, because if you search on the internet you'll be able to find it, but we can at least talk you through what you can expect as an F1 fan from the cars next year. We've got a brand new Vauxhall Astra, so ordinary car lovers, all one for you. We talk watches, and very excitingly, this week we've got jet skis.
And who doesn't love jet skis?
We've got jet skis. We've got jet skis, but it's not a jet ski that you would necessarily have seen before. And we start this week with news from Hyundai. So Hyundai, the South Korean car manufacturer, they're famous now for making extraordinarily good cars. And this week they revealed their brand new Hyundai Elantra N. So the Elantra, play when you want to, there you go. So the Elantra N and the N division of Hyundai, well, they make their performance cars, and the N stands for the Nürburgring, which is where quite a vast number of these cars are manufactured. Well, not manufactured, but they're certainly tested. And this is the latest line of their N car. Now, if you're a fan of the World Touring Car Championship, you will have seen this particular car in a sporty guise before, but here it is, the Hyundai Elantra N. I'm going to disappoint a number of people early doors. We don't know if it's going to be available in Europe, so you could get it imported. But the Hyundai Elantra N, equipped with an 8-speed DCT gearbox. I've driven the i30N with a similar gearbox. I can tell you now, it's very, very good. It's got something called an N-grid shift, which apparently gives you 20 seconds of extra boost. You get 286 brake horsepower for 20 seconds when you press that. Gets you 0 to 62 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds and a top speed of 155 miles an hour, which I'm assuming is limited. It sounds like a very limited number. But this is the Hyundai Elantra N, the touring car for the road. Stu, what do you reckon of this one, mate?
Described as well as a sporty saloon or a sports saloon. That's an oxymoron, surely. That's like calling somebody a giant dwarf. When you kind of think of saloon cars out there, you kind of think somebody that has just kind of got like something to be able to take the kids back and forward from the football practice. It is nice. I really like the inside, the tech screen, something that Hyundai does really, really well. I'm a real sucker for the racing pedals as well. But the bucket seats apparently have improved the legroom by 50 millimeters. As somebody who's 6'5", I'm absolutely delighted by that. Thank you very much. I might as well stretch out a bit. But it doesn't seem to be too generous to the wider driver or passenger in the front. Is it quite a narrow car?
It is narrow. It's based on a very similar chassis. Well, there you go. You can see it there, the i30 variant. So it's a bit of a longer version of that, essentially. Not the biggest car in the world, but it does have bit more of a premium feel, just due to the fact that it is that little bit bigger. What that will do is something essentially to the ride quality, although it's still pretty solid in that suspension bush and suspension arm. As you can see there, it has an aluminium knuckle. Just seen that on the video. I'm entirely sure what that means, but it has one. But they are incredible. I will say this: Hyundai's sporting division, the both in terms of what Hyundai are doing on track and obviously in the World Rally Championship as well. They've just been getting better and better and better. And you don't lose that much, certainly from the touring cars, when you go and buy something like this for the road. The touring car, certainly for the World Touring Cars and the TCRs, they are homologated to the point where they're actually super, super similar to cars that you can get on the road, which is why manufacturers go racing, right, to sell the brand and the car. So there you go. It's an interesting route that Hyundai have taken with their customer racing, and now with this, the Elantra N. So there we go. Tell us in the comments what you think of the Hyundai Elantra N. You might not be able to get it if you're watching in Europe because it might not be coming here. But if you're lucky, you might get your hands on one. And if anybody from Hyundai is watching, yes, I reluctantly accept. I will test one of these for a while. So thank you very much.
You're a trooper, Stu.
Someone's got to do it, mate. Someone has got to do it. And I will willingly throw my performance driving skills into that particularly wide-lying hat that I have just created for myself.
You got to love it as well. Apparently, they've put in this a virtual-sounding engine with adjustable settings as well, just to give it that extra feel. That again is part of the additional touches that Hyundai are chucking into their cars right now.
Okay, I mean, so that opens up a whole other conversation about fake noise while you're driving. Tell us in the comments what you think of fake engine noise while you're driving. It seems to be commonplace because unfortunately, the reality of cars nowadays is emissions and noise standards and the such like does unfortunately mean that yes, cars don't sound as good as they used to. So yeah, tell us what you think of noise pumped into your cabin. Sorry, Stu, I've just whizzed all over your point there. But you know,
no, it is an excellent point out there. You are losing that the hum and feel of the roads.
Yeah.
Whilst we step away from the petrol and diesel driven cars, faking it noises are never good. Let's be fair.
I mean, that's true.
Nobody gets any benefit from it. Come on, let's just be honest and true to ourselves. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And moving swiftly on, we have news from the world of cars, specifically the subsection of cars that are ridiculously expensive, and most of us will never have the opportunity to own, but they look really ruddy cool. So this is the Gembala Marcienne. Marcienne means Martian in French, and it is based on the fact that it is designed to drive in the dunes of the Emirates, which look a little bit like Mars. So this is based on a Porsche 911 Turbo S, which you will need to purchase and hand over to Gembala as a donor car. And it is designed to be just completely crazy. It's been tuned by the experts at RUF or RUF. It's got an uprated 6-cylinder engine and it produces 740 brake horsepower, 0 to 62 miles an hour, which is 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, I believe, in 2.6 seconds on the way to its top speed of 205 miles an hour. It's going to cost starting £423,000, and that is just for the conversion. You've got to add another £161,000 to buy the Turbo S car in the first place that it will be converted from. So north of £600,000. They're not going to make a huge number. 10 limited edition launch editions have already been sold, and more than half of the remaining 30 have also been sold. So if you want one, they're very expensive, and there's not really any left. So
act quick.
Act speedily, I think would be...
watch the end of this, then place your order.
Just place your order, which is going to be, rather
does
pricey.
Look fantastic. It's made of F1 grade carbon. The modes on it include gravel, mud, sand, and snow. Mm-hmm. It looks like a supercar cartoon with the size of the wheels out there. And let's be fair, there's probably no need to really worry about potholes when you're in that thing.
No. Well, yeah, probably not. And also, I don't think potholes are something that are particularly prevalent in the Emirates, I believe, which is where lots of these are going to end up living. So
that's true.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
So there you go. Tell us in the comments what you think of the Gembala Marcienne.
Project Sandbox.
It was, yes. It was originally Project Sandbox, which sounds itchy. So
a little bit disappointed with the title of the new Mission Impossible film.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. It doesn't really have the same punch as the previous ones. Have you seen the interior of this thing?
I have not seen the interior.
I think the best way to describe it is velour.
Velour.
They have made everything on the inside out of suede. I don't know if that's a sand thing, but it's something.
So if you need a velour interior on a car that's £700,000, just buy the 911 Turbo S for 160 grand. That's all I'm going to say. Just buy the car it's based on, because it's all the car you ever need. And it's also, even that's 160 grand. So,
quite a money-saving tip there.
Yeah, there you go. Save yourself £600,000 by following Is It Fast money-saving tips. Just buy the Porsche 911 Turbo S, not the Marcienne.
But who needs Martin Lewis? There you go.
Nobody needs Martin Lewis. Nobody. And one day, I will tell you the story as to why I feel that way. But it involved the Money Facts Awards some years ago, and he shunned me.
I'm seeing a darkness we're not used to here, Stu. Who knew Martin Lewis would be the button pusher? That's brilliant.
He's one of those nemesis that he doesn't know who I am. Doesn't even know who I am. The weekend is here, and it's coming home. It's coming home. It didn't come home last weekend, but the Grand Prix is coming home this weekend, where it's actually due to come home, the Silverstone Grand Prix. And because I enjoy the coverage, let's get everybody really whipped up for a very exciting weekend ahead for Lewis Hamilton and co.
Competition is tighter than ever. Can Verstappen extend his lead further, or can Hamilton win his 8th home Grand Prix? Catch the full race weekend live, including the first ever sprint qualifying. Formula One coverage live from Silverstone starts Friday the 16th of July on Channel 4.
Oh, you are welcome, Channel 4. I advertise for you, and I ask for only nothing in return. So the Grand Prix is coming back to the UK. It is at Silverstone. Exciting news. Basically, it's a sellout. It's a full sellout.
140,000. Brilliant to see a bumper crowd at the Silverstone at the weekend. The golf is also at Royal St George's in Kent. Yeah. Great to see spectators back in sport.
Yes.
It was fantastic. It's slowly creeping back in, which is brilliant. But we've got 52 exciting laps on terrestrial TV on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is great. It is great to see F1 available, not behind a paywall. And I understand that sport is commercial. My gosh, do I understand the commercials behind content. But at the same time, at least we get to see our home Grand Prix on Channel 4. The Channel 4 coverage is fantastic. I have been described as a poor man's Steve Jones before. A mantle I will take gladly. What a beautiful human being. But it's great to be able to see the whole thing live. And that is great. And 140,000 people, as you say, back at Silverstone, which is just fantastic. And we will see if Lewis Hamilton can take home back-to-back wins, be his 8th win at Silverstone at his home Grand Prix if he does manage to grab himself a winner there. So, yeah, lots to look forward to, I think, and sprint qualifying. So tell us in the comments if you're looking forward to sprint qualifying and to the race itself. And how do you feel? In fact, don't tell us how you feel about 140,000 people coming together at a test.
Let's open
that.
Let's open that political egg. That'll be fun.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, fantastic. Lewis Hamilton, brilliant stomping ground for him. The British Grand Prix. Isn't he the record holder with 7 already? But can we see him getting his season back on track over Verstappen? What's he still got a 32-point lead over Hamilton?
I believe so.
About that, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see it going any other way than Verstappen, but there we go. It's I think we can all safely, depending what happens with sprint qualifying. If the sprint qualifying throws up they're calling it sprint qualifying. It's a sprint race. That's all I care about. It's going to be I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. I think it's going to be really, really fascinating to see what difference it makes. It's essentially a pilot for a couple of other potential changes, which is fun. And talking of potential changes, there was some extraordinary news today. So the world of F1 often moves quickly. But today we were shown the brand new F1 car for 2022. So F1 were going to make some key changes to their car the rules and essentially the chassis, the design, the aero, everything. They were going to change everything in 2021, but because of things that happened in the world, that didn't happen. So this coming season of 2022, this is going to be the year where the teams are going to have to drastically, according to the FIA and F1, drastically change what they're doing. And a lot of this revolves around the competitive element of the sport. So, I mean, quite the unveiling job they did today. Look at that. That is an epileptic fit waiting to happen. Probably should have put a warning out before we started. But that is pretty extreme. But it's
doing what F1 does best. It's grandeur, it's excitement. That's what we want to see, and it's good that they're making some adjustments. For some reason, this futuristic car looks like the view you get through a kaleidoscope, which is a bit odd. But very exciting. More details are coming out really soon. What confuses me, though, and I will put my hands up here, is the name. Hopefully anyone watching on can see this right now. F1 1 begins. That is confusing.
Yes.
Why is it not F1 begins or F1 1 begins? F1 1. F1 1 what? No, this is just a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean it's I mean, crikey only knows. Let's be honest. That's what it comes. I mean, they do lots of strange things at F1 HQ, but you can see there the car is significantly different. I think anyway. So a couple of key things that you might have picked up on just watching that, and I'll rattle through these. But aerofoils at the front, that is significantly different. The rounded tail at the back, so the wing is now slightly more rounded. It's got a bit of a swan neck, not entirely sure. Rear spoiler. The whole thing, however, is designed to be specifically better at racing. So at the moment, this is an interesting fact that I picked up today. Correct me in the comments if I'm slightly wrong on distances, but at the moment, if you're 3 car lengths behind the F1 car in front of you as a competitor, it's just a nightmare. You're not gonna pull up. You're not gonna get there. So they've made significant alterations to make the cars essentially drive better when they're closer together. They are promoting wheel-to-wheel racing, which has got to be a good thing. Obviously, the best drivers will still win, because that's the way competition works. But at the same time, the idea is that the difference is brought upon by potentially mechanical advantages and cars specifically designed to disrupt the car behind them. So essentially designed to be in the lead. That looks like it's going to disappear. The car will feature over-wheel winglets for the first time, and wheel covers are back. So wheel covers are back for the first time in F1 since 2009, which I quite like. The front wing and the nose concept have been completely rethought. So it's a completely new front wing shape. It looks like something a kid would draw, which is not. I'm not complaining. That is a good thing. The power unit is going to be the same as the car now. So the 2021 car and the 2022 car will have the same power unit. Cars will be running on more sustainable fuel. So biofuels and mixtures of ethanol and that kind of thing. Because F1 kind of, I guess, traditionally and still purports to be the place where manufacturers and technology come to test, to push the boundaries, and then eventually over the next few years, those technologies then trickle down into our cars, into our road cars. So that's interesting, particularly when you talk about biofuels and ethanol fuels and synthetic fuels. So that's quite interesting to see that. So tell us in the comments, what do you think? What do you think of the new car? I think it looks banging. Stu?
Yeah, very much. As you say, it's a kid's drawing off it, but by God, it's beautiful. That's what we're wanting to see. Interesting there, did that nose cone seem to be quite a way off the ground?
It does. It does. And
I might just be the concept one, yeah.
I think that kind of thing has got, because I was reading today that it's something, there's quite a bit to do with the aerodynamics that happen under the car. So in the 70s and the 80s, F1 cars were being developed where essentially they were sucked to the road, which was made them incredibly quick, but also potentially quite dangerous, to the point where some of them were running around with side skirts. They looked like hovercraft to keep the air pressures different and essentially to keep them stuck to the ground. This kind of technology is kind of coming and creeping back, which is quite interesting. So yeah, interesting. It's filled me full of hope for 2022. I will be honest. I have been completely and totally suckered in by the whole glitz and glamour of the FIA and F1 today. I was completely sold. This car is going to save F1. It's going to make it wheel-to-wheel racing every single race, and interesting and so I am sold. Basically, that's but we'll see if I'm right or wrong.
No, it's good that they're approaching something, they're trying something new, the technology is there, they've obviously done the research. It's exciting. That's what we want.
I agree. And with the F1 this weekend, and this being launched at Silverstone and everything coming back, it's great. But what I want to be able to do is keep up with all the results. What I want to be able to do is to find out when the next race is going to be with a handy calendar on my phone. And I can do that thanks to Results Hub.
Results Hub, all motorsport results, all in one place. And now there's an app. Take results with you on the go as we bring you the latest standings from championships around the world. And there's more. Use the app to see who is racing and where with our handy calendar feature. Download the app now. Results Hub, all motorsport results, all in one place.
That's right. All motorsport results, all in one place, thanks to the iOS app from Results Hub. Results Hub is also a website. Head over to resultshub.com. It is completely and totally free, so you can just go along, make a little account for yourself if you want. Again, it's completely free, and you can put in your favorite championships, keep up with the latest results, F1, touring cars, MotoGP, you name it, and it's all there right at your fingertips.
So who could ask for more?
You couldn't. It's impossible. It's impossible to ask for more. Except you will be able to get more, because I know the teams at Results Hub, I know they're constantly amending their app, making it better. I mean, you can't ask for more. That's the last thing you could ask for.
But they strive for further perfection. God, what a team over there.
I know, it's incredible.
Great group of lads.
It is incredible. But talking about great groups of lads, do you know who else are great groups of lads? Rugby players. They're great groups of lads. And if you're into your sport, other than, say, motorsport, motocross, other things like powerboats or whatever, then if you're into your rugby, the Lions are on tour at the moment. And we were very lucky to speak to an ex-rugby professional who's only just stopped about the upcoming Lions tour. And that is going to be coming out next week. It's not one to miss, but if you want a little taste of what we had a chat about, have a little look at this. Welcome to Is It Fast? We're doing a rugby special. Toby, it is a genuine pleasure to have you here.
You still have a good omen. It's more when I left Chiefs, they left and they went into the Premiership. I left Harlequins. They won the Premiership. So
because you spent 2 years in Spain, playing professional rugby, which is wonderful. How did you find Spanish driving?
I'll tell you how I found it. Go fast or get gone. It was mind blowing. I was very lucky to get man of the match, and the prize was, along with a nice placard, got my body weight in beer. So,
what's your car history like?
Not great. I'll be honest, it's not great. Hold on a minute. We didn't vet anything here, and you bought me a van. One of my earliest rugby memories was the second test on the '97 tour.
Did you ever play with Marcus Smith?
Yeah, he was at Quins when I was there. Really, genuinely, really, really top lad.
There we go. A conversation with Toby Freeman, ex-Harlequins, Exeter Chiefs, a league winner in España, London, Scottish, Cornish Pirates, Nottingham. He played for 14 years professionally. He does tell us some incredible stories.
You know what? It was just a fantastic conversation with Toby. What a great guy. Genuinely worth tuning in for. And I can't say anything nicer about this egg chaser. Honestly, what a great guy.
Yeah, absolutely stunning fella. So if you're interested in seeing that conversation, obviously make sure that you subscribe, follow us on your social media platform of choice. Whether you're into rugby or not, it is worth listening to what we had to say, and it will be coming out next Friday evening for your delectation. But we must carry on into the world of automotive news. And well, there's another new car. I mean, every single week, thankfully, there are new cars, because otherwise we wouldn't really have that much to talk about. Vauxhall, or Opel, depending where you are in the world, they this week revealed the brand new Vauxhall Astra. So this is the Mark 8 Astra. It's the penultimate model in the Vauxhall lineup to move across to the platforms developed by Stellantis. So Stellantis are the mothership group. They own Peugeot, Alfa Romeo, Fiat, and Vauxhall, Citroën. They're massive. So they've been moved across to the same platform here. So it just leaves the Insignia now. We just need a new Insignia. But this Astra is very, very similar to the Peugeot 308. It's available with a couple of engine choices and obviously trim choices, but there are two PHEV powertrains, so the kind of hybrid. So you've got a 1.6 litre four-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine with either 148 brake horsepower or 178 brake horsepower, paired with a 109 brake horsepower electric motor with an 8-speed automatic gearbox for combined outputs of 178 brake horsepower and 222 brake horsepower, respectively. It's got an ion battery in there, obviously. Gives you an EV range of 31 miles. Can be charged in less than 2 hours. So there you go. There's also some non-electrified engine options as well. Couple of diesels, couple of petrols. I mean, it's really quite a boring car, but it looks good. Starting from 22 grand, and if you basically add it full of options and add some batteries, it's going to take you past 30 grand. So, ladies and gentlemen, the new Vauxhall Astra. What do we think of this?
Exterior, yeah. I actually quite like it. It's not something you'd normally be used to. A bit of competition from the compact hatchback world. There's a few options out there. I'd probably still prefer the Golf or the Mazda 3 myself.
Okay.
But exterior is really nice, but I'm going to have to be negative. Can you flash through to the interior?
I knew you were going to say this.
Oh, thank you.
I knew you were going to say this. There you go.
Look at it.
It's not tickling my pickle.
It's so plain. The grey upholstery and that little kind of sliding gully thing to kind of hide your sunglasses or your meth that you need to actually want to drive this thing. Honestly, the interior. Do you remember that advert back in the 90s with the Astra from Vauxhall and all the babies in it? The interior of this would make those babies cry. That's how bad they've kind of mucked this up on the inside. I'm sorry, I'm not falling for it, and it is effectively, as you said, the 308. It's got the exact same engine and the same interior, but sorry, you could see this on the forecourt, but as soon as you sit in it, you're thinking, yeah, what else have they got?
Yeah, it's not. I struggle, right? So this week I've just come from a test day with a load of manufacturers. Very lucky to be invited along with some other journalists. I say other journalists like I'm a journo, with some journalists, and I was there. And I get a go in lots of cars, and you know, we test cars all the time. Had to go in a Vauxhall Mocha. It was a good fun drive. Interior was a bit drab. Had to go in a new Peugeot 508. And the interior was amazing. So you kind of think, well, what's happened between the boys at Vauxhall and the folk at Vauxhall and the guys and girls and folk at Peugeot? Who's signing off on if you can do such amazing interiors at Peugeot at the moment, and particularly that 508. I mean, it was a 50 grand car I was in. Stay tuned. Follow us on Is It Fast to watch that review. And read it if you have eyes. And can read. But Vauxhall just doesn't seem to. I don't know. I'm with you, man. I'm not sold. There'll be good cars, well priced, probably great monthlies, and it does look good on the outside and all that. But
you know what it is for
sorry,
me?
I'm gonna
It's the
pass it.
school project approach. You've been put in a team with someone, you've done really hard, you've worked all really well, and things like that, and then your Egypt pal has phoned it in at the last blooming minute, and you then have to present this as a team.
That's
No.
exactly it. The Vauxhall Astra is the result of that loser in your group of 3 at school who's just basically just botched it at the end.
Don't
That
worry,
is-
we can trust them. They'll turn it up in the end. Do they flip? They never do.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Vauxhall, nothing personal. I would take your mocha over this Astra.
There you go.
That's it. That's all we have to say. And that's still quite a lot to be said about an Astra. If you go out and buy an Astra, don't worry. There's nothing wrong with you. You just should have probably just bought the 308. But there we go. There's not much we can do to help you now. But do tell us in the comments, what do you think of the brand new Vauxhall Astra that essentially is a Peugeot 308, but not as good. So that's my rather uneducated take on it. Although I will say the Vauxhall Mocha that I drove this week was absolutely sensational.
You were saying that, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But from the day you came away saying that, and it was like, and what else? That was but it has to be something to impress you, mate. So I'm looking forward to it.
This is it. I am hard to please. Believe it or not, I'm very, very hard to please. But yes, tell us in the comments. But what's the time? It's time for Watch Talk on Is It Fast? Yes. So last week we spoke about the Excalibur Spider Pirelli from Roger Dubuis, which was very nice, but cost £250,000. This week, we have another watch. This is, I mean, I like it, but this is the Gorilla Chronograph. So this is, for those of you who don't know, Gorilla make watches, car-related watches. So they call themselves Fastbacks, Thunderbacks. This is a Thunderbolt. They are basically a US company. They can be quite expensive, hundreds of dollars. This one's even more expensive. This is $8,500 to purchase and to put on your wrist. Presumably you've got to pay something to get it to the UK. But this Thunderbolt is limited edition. So there's 99 pieces being made, and shipping commences in December 2021. So you're going to have to get pretty quick to get yourself one of these. But I've been a fan of Gorilla watches for a while. I can't afford one, and they won't send me one. So just love being that guy. Hi, I'm on a podcast. Can you send me something? And I'd never ask them to do that. But if you're watching, so that would be great. Yeah, what do we think? You're a fellow watch fan.
Yeah, I wish I had your enthusiasm for this. The colouring, is it sponsored by Firefox? Sorry, I couldn't think of another blue and orange company that wasn't Rangers. If you're going for watches in that colour, I'm sorry, Tag Heuer Monaco Golf has to be a lot better, cheaper. I just want to know, do you have to get it shipped from America, or what claw machine in Blackpool can you go to kind of get one of these?
Are you being serious?
I'm being serious. I do not like this. No, I'm sorry.
But look, it glows in the dark. Like proper.
Like,
look at it. It's glowing now in the dark.
I think I'd need to be in the dark to put it on my wrist.
Oh, well, I suppose you're allowed an opinion.
For this week.
For this week. We should be having a stern chat off air. No, that's fair enough. I like it a lot. I like Gorilla watches, full stop. I'm constantly looking for them on eBay, hoping upon hope that somebody is selling one and doesn't understand what they have in their possession. So a jilted girlfriend selling everything from the house. That's your prize eBay pony on that one, I tell you.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, the Gorilla Thunderbolt Chronograph, $8,500, only 99 to be made. If you order one today, you will get one by December 2021-ish. Great watch. Stuart doesn't agree. And that's...
If you order it today, you might still get version number 1.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there'll be another set of them, you know it. But there you go. Tell us in the comments what you thought of that Gorilla Thunderbolt Chronograph, 1 of 99. Well, 99 of probably another 1,000, but whatever. I like it. If you're watching this, I would like one, please. They're lovely. Or a discount.
That would just be blooming typical. They'll actually be watching. You'll get sent one. Like, oh no, not that loud now. He's not getting one.
Just $8,500. $8,500. It's so much money. It's so much money.
But it's that funny level between kind of the Omegas, the tags, before you start creeping up towards the Rolex and then beyond.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like it. I wouldn't pay $8,500 for it. But if I had $8,500 for it, would I buy it? Yes. I go by the mantra that if you can afford 2 of them, you can buy 1 of them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's my... I listened to that on a podcast.
You must be fun to go with mortgage appointments to, honestly.
I'm an ex-mortgage advisor.
I forget you're human. Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, I used to do that. That was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And now I do this. Amongst other things. Remember to check out our friends and partners, Collaborate Kent, who will do all your marketing and content. It's my other company. We're great. So... moving swiftly on from watches and me selling my other partner, let's go into something a little bit more soggy. So the last couple of weeks, we've avoided the sea. But this week, I want to go back to the sea. I want to go back to wet weather and things that you would do in the summer, because apparently we're due one. Summer is something that will happen at some stage. So I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to disappoint you all. This is, why does it keep doing that? Look at this. Right, so here you go. You've got just a quad bike, right?
Love it.
Just a quad bike. Off goes the quad bike. Oh my god, the quad bike's in the water. The quad bike is in the water, people. The quad bike's in the water. This is producer Alex. That got him. That went through his hard shell exterior. So this is the Gibbs quad ski. The Gibbs
How long did they spend on that name?
Alex is gone.
It sounds like some guy you met in Poland.
Was Bike Jet taken?
Producer Bike Jet. Yeah, well, Alex has just said it's some geezer I met in the pub, some Polish geezer, and he's like, "This is my bike quad ski." So fair enough. But this is the bike quad ski. I'm gonna put you all out of your misery. It's out of production. They stopped making it like 3 years ago, but I only found it on the internet this week, so I thought we'd sort it. Jeremy Clarkson drove one, or rode one. I'm not right sure what the terminology is, but this you could still get it secondhand. There was just over 1,000 apparently went into circulation. You can do 45 miles an hour on land and 45 miles an hour on sea. Well, or lakes or rivers. But I mean, she's having the time of her life. I can't help but if you do a hard bank, your wheel's going to get caught in the water, and you're going to end up doing several flips. But 140 horsepower. They cost, I couldn't find the information. It was a very old website. So that's kind of that. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of, for the few months that are left of our summer, I wanted to show you this, the quad ski. So there you go. There you go.
Let's be fair, amphibious vehicles have always been a dream of...
It was filmed using highly skilled operators. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. I believe it actually came with a tribal tattoo, bleach hair, some Ray-Bans, and a shell necklace. Part of the sale package. Amphibious vehicles, though, the Spy Who Loved Me, the Lotus, that is what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, the website, I actually found the website for this as well. They had to stress quite strongly this is not street legal.
Yeah.
Like, wow, really?
You reckon it's not street legal?
Oh.
So there you go.
To afford brand new $42,000, that is a lot of hustling at the beer pong table.
Is that what it was? It's 42,000.
Yeah, it was 42 grand.
I couldn't find that. That's amazing. There you go. Tell us in the comments what you think of the quad ski that you can't buy anymore. the last bit of news, and I thought, got to make some adult news, something for grown-ups, because we are all subject to economic fluctuations. I think is probably the best way to put it. The last kind of 18 months, it's been a pretty tough slog. None more so than the automotive industry. And so news this week came from erstwhile former British car company MG. And MG announced this week that their sales are up by 76.3%.
Superb.
I thought it's worth including because you know what? It's a good news story. It's a bit boring, but essentially the reality is that we're going out and we're buying more cars. MG, they do very, very cheap EVs. I mean, pretty much the cheapest on the market. They've shifted 519 more cars in the first 6 months of this year than they did in the entirety of 2019. And I think that's a really massive achievement. MG were at the event that I was at this week, and lovely group of people, really good cars, affordable, and they're doing MG ZS. Which are electric, and this one in the video is an HS, which is a luxury version, big SUV, but still really, 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 really good value. So that's good. And in terms of their EV, they are of the cars that they sold, 31.4% were EV, which is 8.1% more than the average throughout the other manufacturers in the UK. So a good news story, I think, personally. So there we go. Not the MGs of old.
No, definitely not. The fantastic idea behind it. It's great sign for the recovery of the industry as well. It's a little bit of bite back from lockdown, from furlough payments, things like that. People not going out, being able to spend. They now want something luxurious. Not many of us are getting a holiday this year. The car or the house is the next thing that's going to get improvements.
Yep.
So good to see. As you said before, there's some great financing options out there for quite a lot of cars. You've got the ZS EV, you've got the 5SW EV, you've got the HS SUV. Basically, they're a nightmare for a Scrabble game.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to describe them. MG, a nightmare for a Scrabble game. I'll give you that. But yeah, I think it's good news. Hopefully, it's a sign of a recovery to come for the industry as a whole. The car industry and the car sales journey probably does need still further improvement. Lockdown has done some good things, but overall, I think it's good to see the automotive industry bouncing back to a certain degree. So yeah, good news indeed. But we're going to finish this week because producer Alex still insists that reaction videos are the thing to do on the internet, and who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? No one. There you go. Don't know if you heard that at home. I'm no one to judge.
We're going to have to Britney Spears him soon enough, honestly.
We did so well. We got 49 minutes into this live transmission without any of us really saying anything horrendous, and you managed to stick with it. Crikey. Yes, but we will agree. Now you've said it, we will Britney Spears him pretty soon. Set him free or keep him hostage? Which one is it?
I think they have to...
Or shave his head.
Keep him hostage. Yeah, shave his head.
Or just shave his head and then kick him out.
Dress him up like a schoolgirl. Wait, no, this has gone dark.
Again. Dear, oh dear. And I've had so much fun, I forgot to talk about the competition, which will roll over till next week. Sorry, guys. Good job, Al. One job. He's got the competition prize for this week in his hand. Never handed it to me once. And if you're watching this and you won last week's competition, congratulations. It is coming to you in the post, I promise. But we are going to end this week. Don't hand it to me. Hand it to me. Hand it to me. Come on. Right, just very quickly. We won't do it this week, but tune in next week live where we will not forget. And you could win yourself. This is professional. We have sponsors. Drive Tribe merch.
Yay!
So if you're into merch, stickers mainly, then yeah, feel free for next week. Next week. It's very important that you enter and watch next week. And because I feel bad, I'm going to add something else to the prize pot as well.
Drive 5 stickers, perfect for your car, your bedroom, or patching up that pesky hernia.
Exactly. It's both fun to look at and medically useful. So we're going to finish this week with that reaction video thing that Alex talks about. I mean, we were doing so well, and then it took such a tangent. But we did touch upon, very, very briefly, the world of jet skis. So Alex thought it'd be a good idea to watch.
Jet ski fails. Oh my god.
Jet ski fails. Right. Okay. Let's do it. I haven't watched these as per usual. These jet skis don't have wheels, unlike the previous. Oh, he looks a lot like Scott Brown.
He does look a lot like Brunaldo. Yeah.
Okay. Man with banana-colored jet ski. He gets on banana. He falls off banana-colored jet ski.
I've never been on a jet ski. Are they difficult to get on? Because he made that look really tough.
No, they're pretty easy to get on.
Yeah.
All right. Not sure what's happening here. This is just someone.
Make sure when you're filming people about to have disasters that you turn your phone horizontally so we can all enjoy it a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes.
Was that it? Was this it? He's just going around in circles. Really buff.
This is why we abuse producer Alex.
Yeah, it is a bit. Okay, so they fell off.
He fell off camera.
Brilliant.
This
Great
is just
job.
horrific filming.
Great job. Great job. Yeah, one job. Oh, actually,
that person might be drowning. Yeah. Sure.
Oh no. Oh, thank God. Cut away. Everything's fine.
And they lived happily ever after.
Yeah. Savage. Right, let's big wave. If you've got to keep him steady. Oh, and he's just been brained by his own jet ski.
He is far more concerned about the jet ski than the people. And they're still trying, bless him.
He's still trying. Like, his missus is just not being able. She's not hanging on. Okay, here's a professional instructor. Don't worry, madam. We're here. No, I'm not going to get too close.
Nothing screams professional like running into the water wearing a hoodie.
Yeah. Oh, this will be better.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Look at his face. He's like, I'm so good at this. I am a pro. He's got someone on his back. Look, you can see.
Oh, yeah, someone is holding on for dear life there.
And she is hanging on. I'm assuming it's a she. Please don't berate me in the comments for that. Just making the assumption because I'm a certain age. I'm sorry.
Set in his ways.
Whoa! That was a good one because he looked so confident. Off you go.
And then
Magnum PI, you bitch, you're off. Oh, these are way better. I'm glad we held on in there.
Yeah.
He's up. He's down. Where's your pal? That looks choppy as hell out there. Whoa!
Oh, that was a flip.
That was a proper half pipe. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, they're out. They're out. It's fine. Not getting your deposit back on that.
I do not know what it's called, but dash cam jet skis are awesome.
Right, we're going to give it one last dash cam. He's trying to wheelie his jet ski.
Oh, this is going to do like a 180. Too much speed. No, he's...
gone. You biffed it. There you go. They biffed it. We end with someone trying to wheelie their jet ski. What a rookie.
Producer Alex, another good find. Thank you.
Yes, actually, it was okay this time, Al. It was okay. Make sure that you follow Is It Fast on your social media platform of choice to keep up with all the latest car, motorsport, jet ski news, and live motorsport, as well as highlights from some of the world's biggest motorsport championships. Believe you me, we have a lot in store, and we shall catch you next week.